Forget air conditioners, forget cold water, forget shade. Now imagine the hottest day you've ever lived through. Then strip away everything that kept you alive. No fans, no buildings, no cold drinks, no showers, just an endless landscape shimmering beneath a blazing sun, where the ground burns your feet, the air barely moves, and every hour outside pushes your body closer to collapse. Most people believe no human could survive in a world like that, but evolution tells a completely different story. The heat wasn't our greatest enemy. It became one of our greatest weapons. Millions of years before cities, roads, or civilization existed, our ancestors walked across scorching grasslands, hunted beneath relentless sunlight, and spread into some of the hottest places on Earth. They accomplished something that almost no other large mammal could, not because they were the strongest, not because they were the fastest, but because evolution quietly equipped them with a survival system unlike anything else in the animal kingdom. That hidden advantage didn't just help humans survive. It changed the entire direction of our evolution. So how did a species with fragile skin, almost no body hair, and no technology outlast predators perfectly built for the wild? And if our bodies became masters of surviving extreme heat, why do millions of us now struggle to handle a single scorching afternoon? The answer begins millions of years ago, with one evolutionary decision. A decision that still shapes every single drop of sweat on your skin, millions of years ago. The greatest threat to our ancestors wasn't a predator, it was the sun. Long before the first village, before farming, and before anyone built shelter from the heat, Africa itself was transforming. Dense forests slowly disappeared. In their place stretched endless grasslands, where shade was almost impossible to find, and the midday sun ruled everything. Every search for food became a gamble. The heat stole water from the body, the ground burned beneath bare feet. One wrong decision, one journey that lasted too long, could mean death. Most animals had only one solution: wait. As the temperature climbed, powerful predators retreated into the shade, conserving every drop of energy until the sun began to fall. But our ancestors did something extraordinary. Instead of avoiding the hottest hours of the day, they slowly learned to use them. They discovered that survival wasn't always about being the strongest or the fastest. Sometimes the greatest advantage was simply enduring what no one else could. That single shift changed everything. The hours that forced other animals to stop became an opportunity for humans to keep moving, searching, and hunting across an empty landscape. No claws, no sharp fangs, no incredible speed. Just a body that was quietly becoming one of evolution's greatest survival machines. And that transformation was happening from the inside out. At first glance, humans look like one of the worst animals built for surviving extreme heat. We don't have thick fur to shield us from the sun. We don't have powerful jaws. We aren't the fastest runners. Compared to many wild animals, we seem completely outmatched. But evolution was hiding a secret. The very features that made us look weak became one of our greatest strengths. The human body is covered with millions of sweat glands. The moment your body begins to overheat, they switch on, covering your skin with tiny drops of sweat. As that sweat evaporates, it carries heat away with it, cooling your body almost like a built-in air conditioning system. Our relatively hairless skin makes that cooling process even more effective, allowing heat to escape far more efficiently than it can through thick fur. Many large mammals have no choice but to rely on panting, and that's where the problem begins. The harder they run, the harder it becomes to cool themselves and breathe at the same time. Humans don't face that same trade-off. We can keep breathing steadily, while our skin continues releasing heat with every drop of sweat. That simple advantage changed everything. Researchers studying human endurance believe it allowed our ancestors to travel astonishing distances beneath the blazing sun, long after many animals had slowed down or given up. They didn't have to outrun their prey, they only had to outlast it. In the ancient world, the sun wasn't just something humans survived, it became an invisible hunting partner. Every hour of relentless heat weakened their prey, while our ancestors kept moving forward. But even humanity's greatest survival advantage came with a dangerous price. Every drop of sweat cooled the body and stole something just as precious: water. The harder our ancestors fought the heat, the closer they came to dehydration. That meant survival demanded far more than the right biology. It demanded extraordinary intelligence. Finding water wasn't luck. It was a skill refined over thousands of generations. Our ancestors learned to read the landscape the way we read a map today. A flock of birds flying in one direction, fresh animal tracks cutting across dry ground, a patch of unusually green vegetation on the horizon. Even the shape of distant hills could reveal where precious water was hiding. Those tiny clues often meant the difference between life and death. Journeys were carefully planned around springs, seasonal rivers, and rocky pools that appeared only after rain. Camps weren't built wherever people happened to stop. They were built where tomorrow's water could still be found. Families returned to those places again and again, turning reliable water sources into the heart of their survival. Parents passed this knowledge to their children. Those children passed it to the next generation. With every generation, their understanding of the land grew sharper. During brutal droughts, that knowledge became more valuable than any spear or stone tool, because in a world where the next drink could be miles away, the smartest survivor wasn't the one who knew the most. It was the one who knew exactly where life was still hiding. And that raises a fascinating question. If our ancestors mastered some of the harshest landscapes on Earth, why does one broken air conditioner feel unbearable to so many of us today?